And welcome back to another episode of the Tech Informist. My name is Kevin Harvell, and I'm joined by good friend JJ Hammond. JJ, how are you?
Hey, hey, hey. Well, it's Quote Monday, and I am doing really good. And my quote for the day is There is no peace, only the illusion of peace by J.J.
Whoa, words of wisdom by JJ Hammond.
I'm doing good, chat room. Hello, welcome. And
Yes, welcome
Kevin,
chat room.
how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm whooping butt in Transformers battle tactics as we were talking before the show.
Yeah.
Ah,
Uh,
yes, yes,
Gosh,
fun,
if you
fun.
watch the pre-show good, I'm probably said like a million things I'll be sorry for, so I'm sorry about that. But go ahead, let's do this.
Yes. So, welcome to episode 45 of the Tech Informist, recorded live
Mm-hmm.
Monday, March the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this episode is brought to you by us. So, no, I just wanted to have a little bit of fun today. It's a good day. It's beautiful weather here in St. Louis. Not sure where everybody else that listens is, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully
Mm-hmm.
the weather is good where you are, and it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So let's move forward and
Uh-huh.
let's go ahead and kick things off. JJ, I believe you're leading off today, just like you did on Friday. So
Yeah.
tell us what you got.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have to, but I went ahead and wanted to, I guess. But basically, McDonald's is the most evil of evil, I think.
How can you
For
not
the
like a
most part.
clown?
But well, there's
Happy
well,
Meal,
okay. All
man.
right,
Happy
don't
Meal.
even get me started. First of all, it's a clown. Second of all, uh, they're evil. Like as in Google has their thing, don't be evil. McDonald's is just plainly. I can't say that because I think Oprah got sued once by them, and that was a big thing. Anyways, so they're wanting to change their image around. Their outgoing CEO, he's going. There's a new CEO in town. He's kind of a new deal. And then they have a chief digital officer. So South by Southwest is going on for those of you who don't know, and that is in Texas.
Austin,
Soon, yeah,
Texas.
soon to be home to my brother. So y'all better watch out. McDonald's made the tech news in a recent announcement that in an effort to turn around their image, they're going to start a wireless charging uh, station for their tables. So people are going to be able to take their phones or devices that have wireless charging capabilities and just set them down on the table, and then they're going to wirelessly charge. This news comes to us via a couple of different outlets, but I went ahead and went with this from the International Business Times. Wireless charging, interactive music, and friendly Barastas. I don't know what that means. Soft yellow tones and wood grain. The vision of Michael McDonald's future is here, except this future is already built inside the Hilton next to the Austin, Texas Convention Center. Okay, so newly minted CEO Steve Easterbrook, who replaced outgoing Don Thompson in January, mingled with members of the Microsoft's growing global digital tech team, some of the chain's agency partners, as well as anyone coming through the doors. In a sense, McDonald's presence by Southwest is no different than having any other startup here just to talk about their new products. But basically, in this article, it's really good. It's a back and forth between the interviewer and the interviewee, and they go back and forth about why McDonald's is trying to compete with having new technology in their chain stores. Kevin, do you think that all chains, kind of places where a lot of us go to, such as Starbucks, with their recent addition of the Google Wi-Fi and their partnership with them, do you think we're going to see more tech in these places?
I think so. I just feel that, if you're going to places and you're, meeting people, whether it's at Starbucks or Panera, bread companies and stuff like that, it's just the idea of being able to go somewhere and, with wireless charging and stuff like that, just set your phone down on the little table on or counter wherever it is that you're sitting, or even having more outlets. Like for example, one of the McDonald's near us,
Mm-hmm.
they've kind of redesigned the interior of it, and it kind of has this area where it's high sitting stools and stuff. Is kind of like set up kind of like I don't know. It's just a nice long stretch. It's got power outlets on it, and
Mm-hmm.
you can sit there over there, get some work done, and quote unquote enjoy some of the offerings from there. But I think that is
Right.
kind of the future of things. More restaurants and places to eat and meet is going to start, getting on board with this. It's just going to take some time, and companies need money for this, but obviously they've got the money. It's just a matter of the individual franchisees and stuff wanting to put that in their locations.
Well, I'll just say this. I think that it would be a serious boon for people, um, meaning companies, because then you would have more people going in there for a particular reason, right? So, say if you didn't like the food, but you needed to meet some place that had, say, Wi-Fi and a place so you could charge your devices real fast, right? So, I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, you can go there, grab some coffee or some kind of other drink. You don't have to
So,
necessarily eat there.
so Kevin, do you know what the overall standard for wireless charging is at the moment? I know Qi is up there, but I hear that
Qi,
there's other.
Qi's the most popular and
Okay,
more widely accepted, but you've got like Energizer and these power mats and stuff like that, which some
isn't it like
companies are going
P?
to.
Isn't it like PMA or something like that? Or
That's possible. I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat will know. I don't know for sure. I just focus on Qi because I feel it's the best, and
okay,
I think
all
it's
right,
what most companies should just accept. But I know
all
there's
right.
a few
Well,
different.
this next story, Kevin, from you, I'm super interested in. I read a little bit on it, but I'm a little fuzzy on the details, so I'm hoping you can straighten that out. So go.
Yeah, so Yahoo has wanted to come up with a new way to remember your password in case you forget your password when you're logging in. Yahoo's wanting to do something new here by creating what is called on-demand passwords. Simply, go in there, go into your settings. We'll link to this, of course, as well, and you can go in and punch in your phone number, and if for some reason you forget your password, whenever you say you forget it, you can have them send you a text message, to your phone, so you can log in. And it's just, according to this post from Yahoo's Tumblr account, today we're hoping to make that process less anxiety-inducing by introducing on-demand passwords, which are texted to your mobile phone when you need them. You no longer have to memorize a difficult password to sign into your account. What a relief! It's kind of a, I don't know, I'd say kind of a little corny post that they put out there, but I guess it's all in good fun.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, maybe more companies are going to go with these on-demand passwords. I mean, I do like whenever you're setting up a Microsoft account on a new device, and especially if you got an Android phone or something like that, and you've got the Microsoft whatever account app
I
on
was just
there.
getting ready to say that
It'll
the Microsoft account app on Android is leaps and bounds better than any other two-factor authentication app that I've seen.
yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I really do like that, and that's another reason why it's like, well, I'll just keep an Android device around. And but whenever I'm setting up, like whenever I reset up my Surface Pro 3 after I decided not to sell it,
hmm
just going ahead and doing that, and it sends a little six or whatever, however many digits of
Yeah,
the
the
code, and
approval
you
code.
just say,
Yeah.
oop, accept, and you don't even have to go back to the device you're setting up. It just recognizes you've accepted that, and boop, just continues on. Like,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
It's really, really cool. By the way, just an update for those of our audio listeners. Check it out. The Galaxy S6 and the Lumia 830 both support both standards, Qi and PMA. Isn't that interesting? That's
That's
interesting. I didn't know that.
Well, that's the way it needs to be. They should just support
Yeah,
both and let
yeah, I
people
know.
buy whatever equipment they want or use what they may already have.
Thank you, Vernon. I appreciate that information. That's good to know. I like
So,
that, right? Like the ability to build all that stuff in. That's really cool.
hey, this will blow somebody's mind. Hi, Daryl Pritchard.
I know.
Hopefully, your daughter's going to be with you when she hears this episode.
Uh-huh. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, so real quick, the most interesting thing to me about this particular story from Yahoo is why, why, right? Why have this as a differentiator, do you think? I mean, did Yahoo have to do this?
I don't think so. It's just something they're trying to get in the news, I think.
Okay. All right.
It's just trying to keep the Yahoo name relevant. So
Cool. Very cool. Okay, so I just say queso. So I am
sounds
up
good right now,
next,
actually.
I think. Yeah, that oh man, that does sound really good. You know, my wife, I think she made you, or at least me, but she makes the best grilled cheese, fancy grilled cheeses. She puts like tomato, queso, a bunch of other different cool things. Anyways, so BlackBerry is getting back into the tablet game. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Sure, that sounds weird. Okay, yeah, it's weird. Here are some interesting tidbits of the information coming from the new tablet from Samsung. If that's confusing, yeah, that's right. Samsung, IBM, and BlackBerry are all working together to get into the enterprise market with the new Samsung slash BlackBerry device. Okay, this comes to us from PC World. BlackBerry launches a $2,300 tablet. BlackBerry is returning to the tablet market, this time with the help of Samsung Electronics, IBM, and now this is the most ridiculous name ever. CQ Smart. CQ Smart. CQ Smart, the German encryption specialist BlackBerry bought last year. This is not the Playbook 2 that BlackBerry was rumored to be working on last year, but the CQ tablet developed by CQ Smart and IBM for a German government department. God, I can't even say it. This freaking tablet is a Samsung Galaxy Tablet S 10.5 LTE 6 gigabyte bundled with some software from IBM and this company special micro SD card, which combines a number of cryptographic chips to protect data in motion and at rest. Samsung's Knox secure boot technology ensures that the OS on the tablet has not been tampered with, while IBM's contribution to the security chain is to wrap, quote unquote, certain apps in an additional layer of code that intercepts and encrypts key data flows using the CQ Smart hardware. CQ Smart Managing Director Hans Christoph Kuhl hopes that before year-end, the German Federal IT Security Agency, BSI, will grant the Knox CQ Smart combination a security rating corresponding to NATO restricted. The project was started a long time ago by BlackBerry acquired CQ Smart, says Kuhl. Now a senior vice president at BlackBerry. The deal raised questions at the highest level with BlackBerry, IBM, and the government department about whether to continue, he said, particularly with IBM's recent announcement of an alliance with Apple to deliver enterprise apps. Okay, so I'm going to cut the story off right there just because I don't want to lull people to sleep. This is a specialty market thing, but it's frustrating because I think this is a bigger conversation here, Kevin. Maybe you can tell me why, but why, like, there are a lot of reasons companies and governments complain about the cost of equipment. If things are priced like this, this is one of those annoying things, right? Like, you're just sitting there going, why pay that much money for this thing? Because not only is it a tablet, but it's a freaking tablet. It's not even like a laptop. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and it doesn't have, like the surf you see on the sidelines for the NFL with like a freaking, uh, otter box around the thing,
Yeah,
or you know what I'm saying? It's
weatherproofing
like
and
you're just like,
damage.
oh man, my brain hurts trying to think about why this is an alternative to some of the stuff that's already on the market. So what do you have to say about this? I mean, you're the one who was like, okay, we need to talk about BlackBerry every once in a while because I thought it's dead to me.
Yeah.
So tell me why.
Yeah, I'm very confused here because, the headline is BlackBerry launches a $2,300 tablet. $2,300 tablet. Wow. And yeah, if this is going to be intended for, any kind of business or government, I mean, just the thought of spending $2,300 on each individual tablet just seems insane. But then again, talking government kind of stuff here, so I guess it's just right in line with that traditional line of thinking.
And don't get me wrong, because remember, if you listen to this show, if you're a big fan, I'm always talking about security and privacy and how important all that stuff is, which it is. But um, these are not devices that I would. It reminds me. So Samsung is interesting to me because they made the new Nook, right? Like they
Hmm.
have like a Nook version of their tablet, and now they have this mesh of BlackBerry. And we both know, Kevin, we've been watching mobile for a long time. These little niche product stuff, it just never gets picked up. It feels like, and I feel like this is another one of those things that just aren't going to be picked up.
Yeah, I don't see it going anywhere. Honestly, I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's interesting, but it's as it's just very confusing.
Now you know what's cute, Kevin? Meerkats.
Who doesn't love
which
a
have
meerkat?
which have really kind of nothing to do with your next story, but I just wanted to say how cute meerkats are when they all stand up together and they look in one direction. That's the cutest thing in the whole
Well,
world.
yeah, I mean, you go to the zoo, and whether you go to the meerkat display or the little prairie dog setup, and
Hmm.
it's like, oh, look at them.
Yeah,
You know,
actually, the cutest thing in the world was there's this cat on Animal Planet that puts his hands together and goes meow like that, and I swear to God, like if I'm having a weird day, like I'll just watch that and it turns everything around. Anyway, so tell me about how what we just talked about has nothing to do with what you're about to talk about.
All right, so I don't know, maybe you guys have been following things around, but again, like JJ mentioned, it's South by Southwest time, and the belle of the ball, as would like to say, is Meerkat. And what Meerkat is an app for currently only iOS devices, so iPhone users and iPad users can use this. And it is a video streaming application for people that you can live stream video through your device, and people in your Twitter following list can watch this live stream. Now, one of the big things about why it's in the news is that Twitter only gave Meerkat 2 hours notice before they cut access to what is called the social graph.
Hmm.
And we'll just kind of like read a little of this story here from fastcompany.com. Ben Rubin, the co-founder of the streaming social video app Meerkat, had just arrived at South by Southwest and started handing out bright yellow T-shirts and was enjoying his app's massive buzz when he got the call. It was from Twitter. They wanted to let him know that Meerkat's access to the Twitter graph was being limited within the next 2 hours. And Ben says, "We are not naive. We knew it was coming. We thought that we would at least get a week notice." Now, Twitter's social graph is what Meerkat borrows, and is so you don't need to recruit a whole new group of friends to watch your video live stream. It just makes things easier instead of having to like send out this individual link or things like that,
Okay.
because it just automatically sends a notification to anybody with the app that follows you. So, I mean, some people feel it's a little bit spammy as well, but and one of the things that Ben Rubin kind of says it doesn't make sense is because Twitter has been going around the country, and I even went to a Twitter Flock event here in St. Louis when they came through town, talking about the service called Fabric. If you just go to Twitter and type in at Fabric, Fabric, you can kind of start figuring out what this is all about. What Fabric is a modular, lightweight SDK which addresses four key challenges for all app developers face: stability, distribution, revenue, and identity. So that's within the Twitter API stuff. And
Hmm.
what Ben goes on to say is, I get it that when you own the house, you own the rules. You can say I'm about to launch my own app and I don't want you to have the graph, but I think the 2 hours was a little aggressive in not working towards building a community. And he kind of thinks also that why would you have this great platform for helping develop and create apps, and then once the app gets big, you like, oh nope, shut it down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's I don't know. That was kind of a tough move there.
you know,
I don't understand that. I really don't.
it's very very
Twitter's
strange.
interesting, man. They're kind of like a big corporation. When I say that, I mean they're you get that feeling where there's just different departments and they don't communicate. Do you
Yeah.
get that feeling sometimes? I mean, sometimes I get that
Oh
feeling.
yeah, Twitter is just like so bad about biting the hand that feeds them.
Right, right,
Third-party Twitter apps is what helped make Twitter what it is today, as popular as it is.
right, right.
And then they go saying, "Oh, nope, sorry, you can only have 100,000 users on your new third-party Twitter app," and that's it. It's like, but uh, it's very frustrating.
Right.
So, I mean, I still love the service because, it helps us interact with people instantly, and it's a great source for, breaking news and things like that. But gosh, man, Twitter as a company, it's just
Yeah.
like going around in circles
Yep. Okay,
sometimes.
so I want to go up next. So Microsoft is looking good for tablet sales in the enterprise. I was just talking about how IBM, Samsung, and BlackBerry are trying to make their move on the enterprise market. And last week's announcement about the essentially the very first MacBook netbook, and we all know who's going to use that. Obviously, the CEOs and CIOs and all this other kind of stuff in boards meetings. But Microsoft is looking at the tablet market with the Surface line of devices, and the recent success of the Surface Pro 3 has really given hope to the PC software and now hardware maker to make big gains this year. I think, Kevin, you'll agree with me when as long as you're not using this thing outside, because I did see pictures of that, which is a little ridiculous. The tablet/hybrid computer sales fell for the first time during the last quarter of 2014. However, IDC analysts do predict that there is some growth in this market still for Microsoft, and that's awesome. I think that that's really cool, and I think that that's something that's exciting for universal apps that we're going to see come out this year, even for Windows 10 when they finally release that bad boy. It's hard to cling on, not cling on, but cling on to the thought of waiting for the next Windows device because it just feels so far away and it's so very frustrating. But we're here. It's all good. I think that the Surface Pro 4, when it comes out, is going to be really good because the Surface Pro 3 was a significant step forward in both functionality, design, and all this other kind of stuff. Yeah, it wasn't the powerhouse like the Surface Pro 2 was because it actually, in the task view, you could watch certain apps get shut off when you have too many apps open at the same time because the CPU couldn't handle all of it. But I think that with Intel kind of stepping up their game and stuff like that, and what we saw from the Dell XPS 13, the new one, it's exciting to see where this stuff is going to go forward because a lot of people that I know, it's an Android phone and a laptop, and I think that the Surface Pro 3 and the new Surface Pro 4, when it comes out, is going to be their next PC device and or like Mac replacement if they decide not to go with a Mac and they kind of want to keep their costs down a little bit. Kevin, are you happy to hear this, or what are your thoughts on it?
Um, I'm hoping things continue to grow, and I mean it's one of those, do we really consider the Surface Pro 3 tablet, or do you want to consider it a laptop? Because I mean, technically, yes, it is a tablet because you can attach the keyboard, or you can simply connect the keyboard in. I don't know. I think it makes a great little kind of portable computing device. And I mean, I guess, mentioning what you were saying earlier, kind of my only complaint about this is if you are sitting outside and you get any kind of reflection, the screen is like a mirror. You almost see more of what the display is reflecting than you do the actual display when you're sitting outside. And big difference between that and this MacBook Pro with the Retina display. It's like, well, I can really see when I'm outside using this MacBook, but I couldn't. The Surface Pro was just reflecting everything.
Yeah. Okay. It's a 2-in-1. That's what Brad says. Oh, that's cute. Okay, you're up next, Kevin. Come on,
All right,
we're,
so
we're rolling.
Microsoft, speaking of Microsoft, they have officially launched their preview of Office 2016 for IT pros and developers, and I know some people have already gotten their hands on Office 2016, the kind of tech preview
Hmm.
for PC as well. I know Paul Thurrott, I was looking at Twitter this morning, and Paul was having some issues with it throwing some errors on his machines, and I haven't restarted this many machines in quite a while.
Wow.
Trying to, uninstall, reinstall, do this, do that. I'm like, well, it worked just fine on the Mac, so it's kind of strange how it didn't need to uninstall. I didn't have to physically go in and say uninstall Office 2010 or 2011, whatever version Microsoft finally getting away from on the Mac to tried the Office 2016 preview on Mac. It's just, just ran it, and it did everything it needed to do, and it just worked, and that's so strange. But then again, like they say, and I mean, it was always a running joke with me at the IT job that I was working at. Everybody was wanting to go Macs except for the administration, and
Hmm.
it's like, oh, they just work.
Right.
But no, I'd like to get the 2016 preview on my Surface just to try it out because maybe I should try to get that loaded up today if I've got some time.
How dare you not already have this ready to go? So you know what's funny is your next story about YouTube is interesting because I saw, for those of you who don't know the argument that's going on right now in the UI, the user interface stuff for Windows Phone and Windows 10, and not just for Windows but for Android as well. With the new YouTube app that's coming out or whatever, it doesn't have the hamburger menu. And it's hilarious because like so many people, I think Android Police was talking about this. So many people are frustrated on the Windows side. They're like, I don't want a hamburger menu. I want now the hamburger menu is those 3 lines, and we've talked about it before. I hate it, but I get it. It makes sense, and I use it, whatever. But they're doing away with that, and they're going with a more kind of the gosh, what UI design is it? They got like all the options are right there, so you can scroll with your finger left or right, and you can go to the different screens or different settings or whatever. So
Talk
that's
about material design on Android, or
yeah. So instead of the top left hand corner or top right hand corner, instead of the hamburger menus, this is gone. And you can, so you have your, like at the very top of the screen you got this icon, this icon, this icon, this icon. Well, whatever screen you're on, that icon's lit up, and then if you swipe
yeah.
over, then the next one's lit. What we're used to seeing on the pivot control for Windows Phone stuff. So I was like, that's hilarious. Like Android's moving on as Microsoft's like, oh, this is a hamburger everything. I just thought that was
Right.
cute. But go ahead with the YouTube stuff.
All right, so YouTube has been batting around this idea for a while, and I think we've even talked about it in a previous show, but it looks like it's getting closer and closer to reality of starting up a subscription option for its best original content. A comment buried in a Variety report reveals that the Google-owned video site is exploring the prospect of launching its own subscription video-on-demand service. And this service, obviously, we're thinking is going to offer ad-free streaming of certain video content that's part of the program, which would likely include videos from YouTube stars under the YouTube Originals banner.
Mm.
So I think what they're looking at is, an estimated launch of kind of like early adopter pricing of like $7.99 a month, which would be similar to what Google Play All Access Music was when it first launched. If you got in within a certain amount of time, you could have it for life at $7.99 a month, or if you didn't, it's like $9.99 a month, I believe.
Interesting.
I mean, they're wanting to do this to help compete more against like Vimeo and Hulu and things like that. That I mean, they've really been making a push to try to get a lot of the most popular, some of the best YouTube creators to get them to come over, because a lot of YouTubers are feeling that their ad revenue, the money that they're making from their content is not as much as it could be on other services. So
Sure.
by going with a pricing structure like this, it would allow the content creators a higher revenue stream. And
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly enough, Google is essentially just really only breaking even though they've
Really?
had it, yeah, with
Wow.
YouTube, even though it's been around for like 10 years now.
That doesn't seem right.
No, you would think they'd be making a killing.
Yeah, you would think.
Because as many people upload, I mean, it's what I mean, I don't even know
Oh,
how
it's ridiculous.
crazy amounts of video footage is uploaded constantly. But apparently they're still not making much of a profit, but I find that hard to believe.
Right. Right.
But it could be true.
But it could be true. So tell us about the Apple Watch.
Yeah, so a little bit more about Apple and the Apple Watch,
So
specifically
real quick, I don't mean to interrupt, but should we start saying Apple Watches, like plural?
as
Because there's not one Apple Watch. There's
you
multiple
got
Apple Watches.
Watch Sport, Watch, and
Edition.
then Watch Edition. So
Right.
3 versions.
Okay.
Why they went with why it's not Watch Sport, Watch Edition.
Whatever.
That's crazy. So anyway,
Okay.
Apple's actually with the Watch Edition looking to allow certain department stores to sell the Watch Edition version in their stores. Now, this is, I mean, very kind of limited stuff, and we're just talking like high-end department stores, not your J.C. Penney's or things like that that you might be familiar with, or Dillard's or something.
Hmm.
You won't be finding it there, but it's surprising because Apple is always so tight and with so many
Hmm.
different hoops you have to jump through in order to even sell their devices on a retail level, whether it's Walmart or the area and the display's got to be just perfect. It's got to look great and this and that.
Hmm.
And then the whole security version. I mean, we're talking a $10,000 to $17,000 watch.
My head's gonna explode, Kevin. You gotta shut that door behind you. There's a bird that just won't shut up.
You don't want to listen to the birds?
No, I'm losing my mind over it. It's like listening to somebody smack. It's enough to just drive me up the wall. So while he's away doing that, Brad asked like Tiffany's, or yeah. I mean, I could be wrong, but I totally think that the watch isn't going to be as successful as as Apple hopes it's going to be. I
You mean
really don't.
the entire aspect of it,
Yeah,
or
yeah, the entire aspect of it. I think Android Wear is much better um, overall, and I think the reason for that is just because of some battery life stuff, obviously, and availability and pricing. I mean, you can't. I don't know, whatever.
well, I
But I
mean,
just don't think it's going to be a big
approximately
deal.
what was it, 60 million people are interested or something like that in it?
Oh, well, yeah, but can they afford to buy it? Probably not. I don't know. Plus, I mean, come on. What Android Wear maker is not going to make something that looks almost exactly like an Apple Watch soon, anyways, right?
Yeah.
So let's not kick around here. Something that I wanted to kind of bring up. So this I found this totally awesome. I know it's not in the show notes, but I just want to talk about it really quick because we got the time. Google is planning an Ingress convention for later this year. Now, Ingress is a really cool conspiracy sci-fi game that pits factions against each other. But what this does is it sets like real life landmarks for like achievements and stuff. It's kind of cool. It's an augmented reality game. I'll have a link to it in the show notes here, but it's pretty sweet looking.
Yeah. I forget what the name of the two sides that you can play as, but yeah, if you like capture the post office in your area,
I know.
then you
It's
get
like
certain
what?
points and stuff like that. I mean, it's a very popular Android game, and man,
Uh,
I've played it for a little bit, but I just had so many other things to do and
right, no, but I think
join a
it's cool,
faction.
and I hope that Microsoft, the HoloLens, has something like this, like an aspect of where it's like a game to where like if you're out and about in public, that would be cool if I watch somebody go, yeah, I just took the supermarket, that would be cool. I think that'd be a lot of fun, and yeah, so that'd be really cool. What was the other thing I wanted to look at real quick since we had a quick second? South by Southwest is going on, so there's going to be a lot of news that comes out today. The unfortunate thing about doing this thing in the morning is that we don't get to recap like what came out during the day. It's mad crazy. But there was one more thing. Oh, Samsung's live streaming of a virtual or live streamed a birth in virtual reality. Is that weird to you, Kevin? That's weird to me.
Yeah, it is.
Just wanted to say that because it creeps me out. Um, so before our chat room's awesome. I'm just gonna say that. We'll take any questions you guys have from the chat room. Real quick though, before we go into our app and entertainment picks, we do have multiple shows. We have the Tech Informist show, which is this show which you're listening to right now. Our other show that we'd like to promote is the MS Mobile Show. So that's msmobileshow.com. We're going to have on Daniel Rubino from Windows Central and Richard Devine later today. We're super excited about that. That's going to be live at, I believe, Kevin, if I'm saying this right, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Correct. Yes.
Right. And then
That is correct.
we talk about everything Microsoft related on Apple, Android, and Microsoft's own platform, Windows. So we talk a lot about that, and we're going to have that show on today. Also, we have Codecast by STL Tech Talk, and we have the stltechtalk.com website and Codecast by STL Tech Talk website as well. All of these websites and all these shows have websites. All of them will have subscription services to where obviously you can listen to them for free, but if you want to donate to the cause, you want to donate to this show, you can go to thetechinformist.com on the top right-hand corner of the screen. You can choose how you can donate to the show, and we would really, really appreciate that. I know I speak for both of us when I say that. Kevin, did you want to add anything else before I go to our app and entertainment picks of the week?
Actually, about the support option, I've removed that from the very front page, but if you just go to the techinformist.com/support or just visit, techinformist.com,
Okay.
you can see a support button right there in the menu as well that you can just click on and see different ways to get involved, whether it's advertising or sponsoring. It's right there on the front page. You can't miss it in the menus and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
But I'll have one other thing to talk about as before we wrap up though.
Okay. The other thing too is the whole Samsung Live Birth thing totally makes me still not want to have a kid. All right. So moving on to the next part. No, I'm just joking. I was playing around. So the next thing up is our application picks of the week. So in entertainment picks, NFL. The NFL. I'm a huge fan. Everybody knows that, or if you don't, now you do. NFL has an app that they have on all the platforms, which is great, which is called Game Rewind, the NFL Game Rewind. You can actually go back and watch the full broadcast version of NFL games, or a condensed 30-minute version if you just like to see people just, smack into each other like on a mad crazy. It's really great. It does cost a little bit, but it's on the web as well, so that's really cool. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to arguably one of my, so I got The Big Bang Theory, Friends, and oh gosh, I can't remember the other show. If I remember it, I'll say it. But The Big Bang Theory and Friends and Community were my favorite sitcoms, comedies for TV shows. Hilarious, great. Well, Community ended its run on NBC, which NBC is just famous for coming out with some good stuff and then X-naying it, like just taking it to Yahoo. So Yahoo got a lot of attention on our show today, now that I think about it. So it's Yahoo Studios provided the new season of Community. I could not be happier. I hope that it's good because I enjoyed every single episode of Community. I just thought it was really witty, really fun, and just hilarious. And I need comedy in my life, and they do a really good job with that. So Community is back. Everybody go check out that when it comes out.
And I would also like to talk, it's springtime and it's baseball season. The spring training is well underway in both Arizona and Florida as well. And most people know about the MLB At Bat app, and this allows you to watch nearly every baseball game each and every day. You even get access to spring training games. Obviously, one of the sad thing is that the Major League Baseball is pulling the app from the Windows Phone store. So
Right.
I don't know. It's just another company hopping off the bus, but it's still available for iOS and Android users. So if you have an MLB At Bat subscription, you can download the app and use that to watch games on the go. So if you're a big baseball fan, I highly recommend it because it's a great way to keep up with things instead of just seeing the scores and stuff like that. You can actually watch, and you get like a free game of the day. I think even with the just if you have the app.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good stuff. Really do like it.
It's funny, Rawl, I do actually like the Angels. Go figure. I think it was after the Angels in the Outfield movie a long time ago.
Oh yes.
I started paying attention. I also like the Ducks for that reason, because of the Mighty Ducks. Yeah.
Mighty Ducks.
It's weird like that, but I get into stuff like that. So, Kevin, you wanted to talk about something, which I think I know what you're going to talk about, but just in case. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and here in just a second, once I get this thing going, I'm going to share my screen as well. And some of you may have already noticed what we're we've launched a Teespring campaign to buy T-shirts. I mean, I know a lot of people have asked over, since we launched this way back in September, how can we get T-shirts and stuff like that? Well, now you have your way. You can either get a long sleeve, and if you're watching this right now, you can see there's the front, there's the back. So we have a short sleeve available for $17, and then a long sleeve available for $20. So, and it's just pretty much the exact same design. Simple, comes in black. We've got to meet a certain quota, of course, for Teespring to actually charge the people that purchase and print them, and then they'll just automatically ship them out to you. I think shipping is like $3.85 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, I mean, I know Rawl, thank you so much for already getting one each of both the long and the short sleeve. We appreciate that, along with everybody else that has went ahead and done that.
Yeah, Raw's freaking amazing, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, there's two different ways that you can go. You can go to teespring.com/tech-informist, or just simply come to our website and you'll see the apparel. And if you click on that, it it kind of brings up an entire description, and got pictures and stuff on there as well. And there's a link as well to go to that page to purchase your very own.
Mm-hmm.
What we're wanting to do is just use this. Use the funds that we raise from this. We're not going to be pocketing the money. We're going to be using this to help upgrade our audio equipment to make a better sounding show.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is left over from that, we're going to be buying things to give away on future episodes. Because
right.
Who doesn't love giveaways? I know I do.
So think about it as an investment, right, Kevin? Think about it as an investment. It's not an actual investment because I know that we can't do that. But everybody, you get my gist. The other thing, real quick, is yes, I do believe that all of our phones should have solar panel technology on them, so that when we're out and about, they can charge themselves. What would be even greater is if the Android Wear Apple Watches. I'm gonna start doing that. I don't care. I'm gonna start doing that. Apple Watches. Yeah. Apple Wear. No, I'm not. Did I say Apple Wear? I meant Android Wear. So I think all those should have solar panels on them. Absolutely. Why not? Right? I mean,
I'm actually trying to get a hold of a case with a company that makes a solar powered case that helps.
Really? Who's that? What's their name?
It's some off name.
Okay.
So it's just something that was on for press release mailings from CES. Still getting a bunch of emails from that, so that's fine. Just send us some stuff.
Hey, we like emails.
Yeah.
So I just for me, because we're wrapping up. Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate your support. We really care about you guys and gals. Thank you for joining. We really appreciate that, Kevin.
Yes. So as JJ said, we do really, really appreciate all support and anything, kind words and comments and suggestions and feedback and all that stuff. You can, simply find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram as well, Google+. We're there because we're using Hangouts as well. Simply search for Tech Informist. Please spread the word, tell friends. If anybody has never really listened to podcasts, introduce them to podcasts and introduce them to the Tech Informist. And if anybody listening, because I know I want to get this out ahead of time, if anybody's going to be in that listens and lives in the Lincoln, Nebraska area, I'll be there this weekend. If anybody would like to, meet up somewhere, shoot me a message or something. Let me know, because I always like meeting listeners and stuff like that. So I will be at the Nebraska Code Conference this weekend giving a podcasting presentation of all things. Go figure. So you can find me on Twitter at Kevin Arvell. JJ, where would you like people to contact you?
At JJ Hammond Music on Twitter. I'm almost to so I want to get to 1,000 Twitter followers. So let's see if we can make that happen.
Ooh, we could do a race, but I'm like 50 to 100 behind, something like that.
I'm doing pretty well. I'm picking up.
People love JJ.
Yeah, it's hard not to. I'm such a likable character in this story. So also, thank you everybody again for the chat. Thank you everybody. Kevin, take us home.
All right. So just one last thing too. Also, make sure to check out the MS Mobile Show. It's hosted by JJ and Vernon E. L. Smith, which you might see in the chat room from time to time. So just one more last little shout out about that as well. So that does it for another episode of the Tech Informist. And until next time, which will be Wednesday at noon Eastern Time, consider yourself informed. And we are out.